Hello there, it's me Tarman and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing some 30k painting and everyone's favorite Smurfs. So the space we're going to be painting today is this bad boy. We're going to paint him up in an ultramarine paint scheme. So this is supposed to be the quickest and fastest way to put a model on the tabletop, so let's begin. First thing to do is paint him blue, and the blue we're going to be using is this. And there we are. Now he's all picked out blue, and the blue is still drying, but once it is dry, we're going to pick out his joints. And the color we're going to be using for his joints are this. And there we are, now all the little joints are picked out. Next thing to do is to pick out some of the silvery bits, like his power pack and just other little bits. And the silver we're going to be using is this. And there we are, now the silvery bits are picked out on his power pack and on his legs. Now we're going to move on to doing the trim, which will be gold, and the gold we're going to be using is this. And there we are. Now he is popping and looking very Smurfy. So the next thing to do is to put a wash over him. And I'm just going to put a standard black wash over him to make him shiny. And this is the wash. And there we are. So now we're going to highlight all the metally bits, and this is what we're going to use. So for the silver, we're going to use this to highlight it. And for the gold, we're going to use this. And there we are. Now it's a bit more poppy. So now we're going to add some white on his little crest that he has. And we're just going to be using this. And there we are. I put a wash over the white too to make it pop just a little bit. Now we're just going to pick out the eyes and the helmet, and I'm just going to be using this. And then after that, I'm just going to pick out the face, and I'm just going to do my standard thing where I just use these three colors. This one as the base, this one for highlighting, and this for the eyes, and obviously just black for the pupils. So let's do it. And there we are. Now we just got to pick out his hair. I'm going to make him blonde. So the color I'm going to be using is this. And there we are. That's pretty much it for this Space Marine. Really, the last thing to do is just do his base. I'm just going to do my normal thing for the bases that I always do, which is just taking a texture paint that I have and just painting the base that. And I'm going to put decals on it. But that's pretty much it for this guy. So next time you see him, he'll pretty much be getting wrapped up, and then he'll just hop over to the montage. This is supposed to be like a quick way to paint an ultramarine or ultra Smurfs, which is really what they are. But this is the 30k version, which really isn't too much different from a 40k version. But I think this turned out pretty nice. It looks a bit rugged, very simple, but I think the effect pulled off pretty nicely. So let's wrap them up and hop over to the montage.